Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. Okay, so I'd like to start with the incorporation of the company, which was in 1990, and it started operations in 1992. It was also listed at the Pakistan Stock Exchange then. In 2016, however, the company changed its track, restructured and diversified from filament yarn into the fashion retail sector under the brand name Image. 2017, our paid-up capital increased by 100% through rights issue of shares for expansion, including capex and new outlets. 2018, 2019, and 2020 were good growth years, whereby we were nominated a number of times at the Hum TV Style Awards. These are local style awards that basically validate the brand's fashion aesthetic and how it's doing in the field of fashion amongst fashion critics, etc. The other point is that an MOU was signed between Nishantasi University in Turkey, which was associated for setting up a fashion college that we also run. This helps us breed our own talent, and I'll get to that more in detail later on. 2021 has been, alhamdulillah, a phenomenal year for the company, because despite the pandemic, despite retail lockdowns, despite restricted store timings, despite disruptions in supply chain, factory closures, the company managed to grow 150% in sales volume, open a new outlet, a list on Amazon, etc. So I feel that the year 2020 to 2021 is key for the growth of the company. Another point I'd like to highlight on is that the stock has rallied over 500% current year to date. I'd like to move on over to the next slide very quickly. Image Pakistan Limited basically is a fashion design and retail company which aims to offer our customer fashion items, clothing, accessories that meet the most demanding design and quality standards at good prices. Moving over to our the key points for the year, which I was speaking in about earlier, is that we've seen 150% exponential growth in gross sale FY21, despite the COVID-19 and disruptions. We went live on Amazon. We are the first and only company in Pakistan to date that has gained access to more than 300 million active users across the world. The third key salient feature of the year is that there has been an incorporation of a wholly owned subsidiary, Image Tech Limited, to avail 100% tax credit against tax liability for the next 3 years. Plus, we witnessed more than 2 million visits to our website, www.image.net.pk. We have a social media following of over 1 million users, as well as we, in the last 12 months, have incorporated new product categories. One is called Miss Image. This category came into being in the last quarter of the last fiscal year. This is basically a young line that caters to Gen Z and above. We feel like that age bracket was something that we were missing in the year before that. So we've now trying to target this age group and sector in the women's apparel market. Additionally, we launched another unstitched limited collection by the name of Printcari, because the unstitched market is actually much bigger and growing in Pakistan. And the third thing that we have, the third product category that we added in the last fiscal year, closing 2021, June 30th, was our Image Fusion line, which is making a fusion Eastern Western, a mix of Eastern Western clothing for women who are students, girls who are students or women who are in the workforce, who need daily wear and functional practical clothing for work every day. I would like to move on over to the next slide. Well, we already discussed this. Basically, our e-commerce has grown from the year 2020 to the year...
I'm sorry to interrupt, Uzma. Aapki slide change us pe nahi hui. I don't see your slide changing if you've changed the slide. Aapka company overview pe aaya hua hai abhi. Slide is not changing. Slide is not changing again.
I was checking the same. I'm not sure. Is it working now?
It is still on company overview. Maybe you exit this and you start the slideshow again.
Is this better?
G. Now
Which
we're on the
slide
business
can you
model
see?
slide. We're on the business model slide now. This is slide number 5 that we're on at the moment that we can see. I think Uzma had some connectivity issues. She's just going to be rejoining us. They're just rejoining at the moment. Taha, could you please make Uzma the host again? Perfect. Uzma, you're the host again.
Okay, so we're back. Can you hear us?
Yes. We can hear you, but we can't see you guys.
Now should be able to see us. Woody?
Yes,
You see
we
us?
can't see you. We can hear you. But yes, we can see you now. Perfect.
Okay. Right. Sorry about that.
No problem. Perfect. And we're on the business model slide now.
Right. Okay.
This is perfect.
Right. It's going to minimize the movement. Perfect. We've so the business model slide. We've been through this. We went through all these points just now, just to get everybody on the same page. For those of you, I can see some who are not familiar, who may not be from Pakistan. Sorry, but we have to sometimes bear with the changing internet connection. So yeah, sorry, it's part of life here on this side of the world. We are going to go back to our performance of e-commerce, and we are going to speak about here and some of the key leading banks of Pakistan that offers a lot of promotions, etc. I'm going to move over onto the financial performance of the company. 2017, the fiscal year 2017, 18, 19. I think the graph and the numbers speak for themselves. We'll be also be looking at the sales trend. Again, the graph has been geometric, especially between year 2020 and 2021.
Uzma, you're stuck. Your voice is breaking up. If you could please repeat that, your voice broke up. Sorry guys, I think they're having some internet issues. She's just going to be joining us back on. Perfect. Uzma, you're back. You're on mute. Perfect. Great. We can hear you now.
Brilliant. Can you also make us host so we can start sharing?
Yes, you are host.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Perfect.
So back to the financial performance.
Yes, we're on slide 10.
We are on slide 10. That's right. Okay. Sorry, the rhythm broke a little here, so I'll go back. We were looking at the financial performance of Image Pakistan Limited. As you can see, the graph is on the rise. I think these numbers and digits are speaking for themselves. We'll go to our sales trend again. You will see geometric growth here. I will move forward onto the financial performance again of the company in percentage of retail stores and e-commerce. This is an interesting figure. In 2020, the company's e-commerce sales grew by 498%. We now expect revenue in FY 2022 to be about $2 million annually. The other thing that supports us on the e-commerce front is the company that we've incorporated, the wholly owned subsidiary, which is called Image Tech Limited. This will handle our entire e-commerce business, both local and export-based, allowing us to retail with 100% tax credit against the tax liability for 3 years. Additionally, we plan to open 10 new stores in FY 2022 in Tier A cities. The sales contribution from the brick and mortar model would now be about 70%, and 30% we expect from e-commerce. Moving forward onto our financial performance on the debt equity ratio. Again, it's very, the numbers are good. It's on the screen in front of you. I will move to our debt profile. You can see how it's declining. And by 2022, November, we plan to pay off the entire debt, which down to zero, which at the minute stands at around 100 million PKR. We are looking at the financial performance in the current year for the period 9 months up until March 2021. So this is what the numbers are looking like. Earning per share, price earning ratio is here on the screen. Moving over to our share price versus the KSE index, I think both quarterly and annually, the company has beat the KSE index by many-fold. Looking at our stock market information, the Image share closed the 2020 financial year on 26 July 2021 at PKR 37 and 25 respectively. Our market cap stood at 2.115 billion at the end of the period. Just going to glance over some projected profit and loss statement for the next 5 years. We'll be looking at financial year 2022 to 2028. We foresee that by the end of the 5-year plan is to be at about 8 billion in sales turnover.
Yeah, we have planned expansion in our manufacturing facilities as well as outlets.
Our retail network.
These figures represent those outcomes of expansion and.
Yes, absolutely. Moving over onto our competitive advantage, I would like to highlight that we have higher gross margins in comparison to competitors. Image has been able to achieve these, they're averaging about 37% in the 9-month period, financial year 21, due to its sales mix, and we have a premium product, and hence we are able to charge the market a premium price. So we are not so price sensitive to changing prices in cotton, etc. Looking over at the SWOT analysis of the company, the strengths stand at being pioneers of Shifli embroidery in Pakistan. Since 1993, we had an associated company that was doing embroidery. We have a design library that this company has inherited for over $1 million US. We have creative edge in designing and styling because the sponsors of this company themselves have that skill and that talent. So we are not dependent on an outside design pool. Yes, we do have a professional team of creative designers that are always staying abreast with the trends, market trends and fashion trends, but the talent lies in-house as well. And it's the leadership of the team that is key to drive the growth of the company. The product is the heart of a fashion retail company. It's not your stores, it is your product, it's what you're selling. We have a strong and established brand positioning. Additionally, we have access to Nishan Tasi, the university from Turkey that we've collaborated with, which we are running a fashion college ourselves, which is training our talent. We are basically breeding our talent. So if you look at it, this is like a university hospital type of situation where the hospital also has a university attached to it, so it's training its doctors, its nurses. Similarly, the fashion college was brought about by the same concept, that we will train our talent, breed our talent, so that they are in line with the aesthetic of the brand. We believe that people need that training. It's not just enough to poach talent from other companies and expect them to perform. We nurture our own talent pool, and that is our think tank, let's put it that way. We also have continuous investment in technology and artificial intelligence tools. The world is globalized. Everything is now moving into tech and AI. Then we have a low leverage company, alhamdulillah. And I think those are our strengths. Our weakness is that we have a limited physical presence at the minute. We are only present in KLI, Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad. This is what we need to work on, and that's why we want to add 10 new retail stores in Tier A cities in Pakistan. We need to basically capture the local market. Moving over to the opportunities that the company has, the Pakistan's retail economy is worth 7 trillion. Our online sale of the entire country this year, the financial year that closed 30th June 2021, was only 150 billion as per the government of Pakistan. There's a huge potential to grow. That's nothing. We have a population of 200 million in Pakistan, and every woman wants to look good, wants to dress up. There's an increasing number of women in the workforce now in urban cities, and they want to dress up every day for work. Hence, the scalability of this business at the minute is huge because our price points are good. They're not too expensive. We feel like there's a lot of room for growth in the brick and mortar sector as well as on e-commerce. Plus, we have Amazon. The threats that we feel are retail lockdowns, again, COVID-19 that is out of anybody's hands, a devaluation of the currency that may rise up the cost of the accessories, auxiliaries that we import to put on our garments, and I think the health and safety and well-being of our people and workers in the supply chain is one of the threats we feel. Moving over onto our future roadmap is that the expansion of 10 new retail outlets, installation of new Shifri embroidery machines, our CapEx, and introduction of new lines, fragrance and halal cosmetics, which is the second phase of our growth plan. The projected growth from 2021 to 2028 is this graph. I think the blue bars on this graph explain that quite well. We see it just shooting up. I would quickly like to go back to one of my slides and explain the graph here, whereby our e-commerce sale was 6% as a percentage of our total sale in year 2018. Year 2019, we were at about 8%. Year 2020 that closed, we were at 40% of our entire turnover. And the year 2021 that closed on 30th June at over $1 billion was 43%. In this year, please bear in mind that there were no stores. March 17th, 2020, we went into a retail lockdown. We lost, our entire store network was closed. However, the company still managed to grow their sales over 150% by contributing 43% that contributed from online sale and e-commerce in this. We also did not lay off anybody due to COVID-19. We also paid our entire workforce and our entire team, sales team, despite COVID lockdowns, 100% of our salary, their salary. We made no salary cuts. We also paid off all our vendors and bank liabilities in this period. So I feel financially we performed well in this year, despite a very, very tough economic situation that was out of anybody's hands. That's the end of our presentation. And any questions, Moody? Over to you.
Thank you so much. I think if you could stop sharing your screen, please, so people can see you as well. You and Sabzwari Saab. Just click on, yep, perfect, great. Yep. Thank you. So thank you for your detailed presentation. We've had a lot of questions already that have started coming in. We realize and appreciate the fact that you're a listed company and you have certain compliance that you have to keep in mind. So please feel free to not answer any questions which you're not comfortable with answering, of course. So you've already said that you're going to have 10 outlets that you have planned. So the first question I got is, how many do you have planned for the next 6 months?
So we have planned 10 outlets over the next 12 months. In the next quarter, there should be Peshawar, Pindi, and another one in a tier A city. Three outlets coming up in this quarter. That's already started.
Okay, thank you. The other one is, what's the average annual revenue per outlet for outlets in Lahore and Karachi? And do you feel that there is more growth available from those outlets?
So the average revenue per outlet, I would say I would take as about 100 million per outlet. But again, that's an average because it depends on the square footage of the store. So some stores we have are slightly smaller, the standalone stores. Those are less than the average. And however, we the stores that are in the premium shopping malls like Dolmen Mall Clifton or Dolmen Mall Tariq Road or Packages Mall in Lahore, those are much more than the average. So I would take 100 million per year as the average for our retail stores. There is, of course, a room for a lot more growth. And I'll tell you how that growth can be achieved. That can be achieved if we add on more categories. So like I told you, in women's apparel, we added Miss Image, which is a line catering to the younger Gen Z market and the millennials. And then there was Image Fusion that was catering to those people who don't wear Eastern wear. So it was about Eastern and Western, given that we are a conservative market. Women are conservative on this side of the world. The other thing that we are launching soon in this quarter is a denim collection. So we basically, Pakistan, as everybody knows, is an exporter of very high quality denim. In fact, I think one of our top exporters in this country are exporting denim. So we sourced denim from these local companies, and we are launching a denim line because denim is very much in fashion and doing phenomenally well all over the world. We are launching a denim line. So like this, if we add fragrance, cosmetic, etc., more accessories, we are likely to grow our market on these very stores that we have without having to increase the square footage at the minute.
And going from there, what is your expected average revenue that you're expecting from the new locations that you're opening?
So from the new locations also, I think we're going to start off at easily at 100 million, an average of 100 million per outlet. Because we already have a vast category range. We are still working on it and trying to bring more categories in the fashion market.
Ayla is asking, what are the operating margins vis-a-vis sales? For future projections, margins appear low.
Mehmood, could you repeat that, please?
So she's saying, what are the operating margins vis-a-vis the sales? What are the operating margins?
Actually, we are going to.
They are about 40%, I would say.
About 38 to 40%. 35 to 40%.
Yeah.
But as we are going to expand our manufacturing facilities, and now at present we are relying 70% of our 70% on vendors. After expansion, we will have our own manufacturing facilities of grey cloths and others. So the margin will increase. Our operating margin will increase.
Absolutely.
She's also asking what your governance structure is like.
So this is a listed company with 7 members on the board of directors. I think you may want to go into more detail about the question. If you can elaborate, please.
Those we can, I'm sure, find online as well. So I'll move on to the next question. The next question is, what percentages of your products are priced between 1,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000, and those that are above 10,000?
Right. So
percentage-wise.
30%. Sure. 30% of our products are between PKR 1,000 to 5,000, 50% are between 5,000 to 10,000. We try to keep them between 5 and 6,000 actually, 50% of them. We don't want to cross the 6,000 mark generally on 50% of the products. Only about 20% are above 10,000.
Got it. Thank you.
Our gross profit margin then becomes, our gross profit margin is about 38 to 40%. Our operating then becomes about 18 to 20%.
The next question is regarding your capital, your rights issue, that the money you're raising from the rights issue. The question is, how do you plan on using that? Is it going to be spent for buying more machinery? Or is it going to spend for the opening of new branches? What's the plan regarding that?
Right. So as the slides also explained, and I'd like to explain that again. There are three avenues that the channels that the money is going to be diverted in. Number one, we need to open 10 new retail outlets, brick and mortar stores in tier A cities in Pakistan. So we need 100 million for that, for 10 new outlets. Secondly, we need 340 million for a permanent working capital. Each outlet obviously is opened, so not only is the money goes in the fixtures of that, making that outlet, it also goes in the inventory that outlet needs to carry. So 340 million is going to be for the additional working capital requirement that we have. 200 million is for the import of brand new Shifley embroidery machines from Europe that we need to add to our, so we can grow our production facility in order to make additional number of garments for these outlets and for our expansion.
Total 640 million is our requirement.
So the requirement is for 640 million, 100 million, 200 and 340 for working capital.
Okay, thank you. The next question says that the increasing yarn prices have dented the margins in the textile industry. So how does the company deal with increasing cost of raw materials?
Right. So as I explained earlier, we sell a premium product, and the increase in cotton prices will be about 20 to 25 rupees a meter. About one garment, a shirt that we sell, or a trouser, is about 2.5 meters to 3 meters of fabric, which means that if you take the upside 25 rupees per meter that the price will hike, times 2.5, 75 rupees is the maximum that our gray fabric would go up. Yes, we do outsource this gray fabric from other companies, but because we are a premium product and our gross margin is 40%, this increase of 70% is, I don't think it will really matter to our premium product. We charge a slight premium, and that's why we have much higher margins than our competitors. So it's just 75 rupees that are, the cost of making the good will go up. And 75 rupees for an entire shirt or a trouser.
Got it.
So you can calculate that in dollar terms, it's probably like 0.4 cents.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is, what is the sales mix between fret and unstitched segment?
Right. So right now we are 70% fret and 30% unstitched. However, we did add another unstitched category by the name of print kari. Before we only had lawn kari. We added this print kari in the last quarter of financial year that closed on June 30th, 2021. Going forward, we want to add more unstitched categories so that we can also grow our market in that segment. And I think that going forward, we'll be doing 60% fret and 40% unstitched in the next year. And the year after, we want to go towards 50-50. The potential of the unstitched market is huge, unimaginably huge at the minute.
Thank you. The next question is from Vincent. Vincent, thank you for joining us. The question is, thanks very much for the helpful presentation. Successful equity raises in Europe and US are a sign of confidence in the growth by the company and its shareholders. His question is, how much growth can this capital raise sustain?
Sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Sure. How much growth can this capital raise sustain?
How much growth can this capital raise sustain? Oh, I heard you. All right. 100%. We're looking at about 100% in this year alone.
The next question is, what was the need for creating a separate company for e-commerce by the name of Image Tech?
Right. So as explained earlier, the government of Pakistan has given a tax incentive of 100% tax credit to those who incorporate a company for e-commerce or software that will waive off, that will settle your tax liability for the next 3 years. So Image wanted to take advantage of this policy and this scheme that the government is giving, put up a separate company as a wholly owned subsidiary by the name of Image Tech, through which we're going to route our e-commerce and our exports and avail the 100% tax credit facility. Our vision is digitalization. And I don't think any company would not want to avail 100% tax credit if the government of Pakistan is offering it.
So the next question that I've gotten is that when do you expect this tax credit to expire?
So 3 years,
3 years
is what they're seeing for now. But again, we have a long-term vision, and our vision is digitalization. The world is becoming a global village. The future is digitalization.
Thank you. The next question is, how many days of inventory the company has at the moment, and what's the company's cash operating cycle?
So right now, we are at about 120 to 150 days, but with better supply chain, which we are working very hard on, and getting better human resource in our supply chain, we plan to bring it to 60 to 90 days in this year, in the coming year.
The next question is, how much are you expecting from the Amazon sales alone? You've already mentioned you're expecting 2 million for the coming year, but they're asking for the coming next 2-3 years. What are you looking at for that?
Well, the way Amazon works is you set up a virtual store, and it's like customers come and they place their orders with you. And if you are a customer and the company delivers your order to you in time, you get it, you like it, it's good customer service, there's nothing wrong with it. If there is, the company replaces it within 48 hours. You are likely to go back and be a repeat customer to that company if you have, and you give them a good rating. So Amazon works like that. We plan to build our customer base by giving them exactly what we showed them, by giving them good customer service and replacing them if there's anything wrong with the product. So we expect that not only will our customer base grow, but our repeat customers will also become our routine customers. We want to scale up Amazon because it has 300 million active users. No website can pull this audience that Amazon has. And we expect about 25% growth every year on Amazon.
Got it. Thank you.
Thereafter.
You have already answered what you're going to do with the rights proceeds, but they have asked, why did you go for rights and why did you not opt for debt?
That's right. So I showed you the debt equity profile, and I showed you the debt profile of the company. We did borrow 138 million in year 2018, which by 2022 will be down to zero. We did have the option of leveraging for, let's say, the finance of machines, but we are a risk-averse company, and I feel no shame in saying this. We are conservative. And I feel that with the currency that is devaluing, in the last 45 days, the Pak rupee has devalued from 150 rupees to 162 rupees. The currency is under pressure. And We are of the opinion, however, I'm sure you may differ, but we are of the opinion that the State Bank of Pakistan right now is keeping the currency low because they want to keep the interest rates at the bank rate at 7%. However, looking at a long-term growth plan, look, business is not about a quarter or 2 quarters or 3 quarters. We are looking at a long-term growth plan, and in that, I feel like the company wants to be insulated from the interest rate volatility. Interest rates are bound to rise, we feel. And because we want to insulate ourselves from rates, we would rather go for equity financing than debt.
Actually, our brand has established its name, so we want to use our brand, and that's why we want to write through. We had the option to plan. We had the plan B to utilize the bank borrowing, but our plan one was to go public and offer right, and I think we will be very successful in this.
Thank you, Zadwari sir. Thank you. The next question is that your margins have declined recently because the company has offered discounts. Do you expect the margins to go back up, or are you going to keep your margins low to penetrate the market?
Yes.
Yes, I believe that our margins will go up.
What would be the unique selling point for perfumes and fragrances?
It would be the quality of the fragrance, the durability shouldn't wear off, and the branding. These are key features that essentially push any product in fashion and lifestyle. So perfume would come under lifestyle.
Got it. The next question.
Why would you wear a Chanel over an Hermes? It's like that.
Got it. There are a lot of questions coming in regarding how many machines you guys are importing. I believe you guys have already mentioned that. The next question is, what is the volume and sales target from this segment for the next year, and what are the margins like from your retail sales? How much are you expecting? You've already mentioned that you expect it to grow.
Yes, so 80 to 90% growth, and we want to basically produce 100,000 pieces of garment per month. Additionally, we have unstitched and accessories, and that's why we need new machines to meet these production capacities. So we are looking at 80 to 90% growth in this year.
Thank you. Referring to then Sanaf Khan is asking, referring to the financial forecast, how is the management planning to fund growth? Will internal cash flow allow for expected growth, or external financing will be required?
I just answered that we are going for right issue, and we will generate funds from the public in order to implement our expansion plan and outlets. Internal generation is also, we are also a portion of financing will be from internal generation.
There's another question that you guys have mentioned using tech and Al. The question is, can you please give us more specifics regarding using artificial intelligence? How are you guys using that?
Right. So basically, there are AI tools that are available via tech companies that we have outsourced, which are not in Pakistan, that gather data from the advertisement that we do on Facebook and Instagram and Google Ads. This tells us the kind of consumers that we have, what the age brackets are, where they're coming from, the pages that they like, what their interests are on Facebook, on Instagram, what cities they're coming from. It basically optimizes our target market and our target audience. This way we have, this is what we use to plan out our roadmap for the 10 new outlets that are to be opened. So we basically had a lot of audience that was coming from Peshawar, from the city of Peshawar, which is in NWFE, and we were getting a lot of online e-commerce orders from Peshawar and Rawalpindi, and therefore we decided that our flagship stores should exist in these areas, which will not only boost the e-commerce, we already have a market, it will also make it easier for those customers who don't prefer to buy online but are forced to buy online to go to those shops and let's say shop buy products or make exchanges easier for them or refunds. Have a flagship store. That brand presence needs to be in the cities where we already have a strong market.
The next question is, there's been a lot of hype regarding Amazon, obviously. So they're saying, what is the impact of it on your company? You've already spoken about it in terms of numbers. This person is saying, my sister could previously order from your website directly and get it delivered in the UK or the US. How does that change now?
Right.
How does Amazon change things in terms of product viability, customer experience, and ease?
So that's a very good question. And before our company decided to register on Amazon, I had the same question in my mind, and I'll give you the answer to that. And that's how we decided to go on Amazon. One, being on Amazon gives us access to 300 million active users. No website alone can get access, that kind of traction on its own. One. Secondly, Amazon offers a service that is called Fulfillment by Amazon, whereby we can send our products, export them to the US, Amazon will stock them, charge us a small fee, and stock them in their warehouse. Now, when a customer from, let's say, New York orders or wherever, the delivery cost will go down. If I dispatch a parcel via FedEx, DHL, XYZ, the delivery cost is much higher than if you ship it out for, like, let's say $2 rather than $30. So that's one. When the delivery cost goes down, incentives to buy are much more, volumes will grow. The other thing is credibility. There are a lot of people who live abroad who've come to shop at Image for the first time on our website. I would also maybe be reluctant to plug in my card details on a random website in, let's say, Tanzania or Pakistan or India or wherever. But Amazon gives you that guarantee that their card details will not be going anywhere. There won't be any bank fraud. They also have payment options that are not existent in Pakistan, like PayPal. Everybody knows PayPal is not in Pakistan. There are a lot of people that come to our website and then write us an email saying, why don't you have PayPal? We want to pay through PayPal. We don't trust your payment gateway. So Amazon assures that. Another thing that Amazon does is if we ship a product to a customer, or if our product goes to a customer, the customer gives us a bad review or a 1-star review and says that this product is not what I saw online, or it's defected, it has a button missing, it has a loose thread. In 48 hours, the company is supposed to give a refund or exchange 100% customer service to this customer. If the company Image does not do that, Amazon will give us a warning that they may close down our account on Amazon and we may be delisted from this platform. So customers feel more comfortable going through Amazon. It's like a third-party assurance. It's like an insurance policy rather than going to me directly. The other thing is, we can then, because our currency has devalued so much, being on Amazon, we can compete with other Indian and Bangladeshi and sellers, and also cater to an Indian, a Bangladeshi, and a South Asian market that is already coming to shop on Amazon, who may not know who Image is. If I'm an Indian customer, maybe I don't know who Image is, but I go to buy XYZ brand on Amazon. Okay, well, hey, there's Image, and I may like Image, and I may buy Image. You see, and they can't buy directly from Pakistan as well. There are a lot of people, India, Bangladesh. So I think the possibilities, the scalability of Amazon is huge, and I'm bewildered when people say that they don't want to list on Amazon. I mean, you don't want to access 300 million users?
Access to those hostile countries.
I'm bewildered when people say that our brand may get diluted. I don't know.
I had I did get a question regarding that about one of your competitors.
Question is, if you don't want to register on Amazon or you're unable to register on Amazon, because right now registering on Amazon is very difficult. The compliance to be a listed seller, you need to go for trademark registration. First, you need to have your trademark registration done in order for Amazon to register your brand as a listed seller. And the thing is that Pakistan right now is not on that on the brand registry option. Pakistan is not a country. They're not acknowledging Pakistan. The conditions are extremely stringent. We went through intensive compliance requirements that had to be met by us in order to get listed. And that is why the government of Pakistan is having and encouraging the advisor to the Prime Minister, Mr. Razak Daud, Ms. Aisha Mariani, the Joint Secretary for E-commerce, Ministry of E-commerce at the GOP, is encouraging exporters and local businesses to go on Amazon. And they just had a talk yesterday, which our company was invited to come and speak at the Federation of Pakistan Chambers of Commerce and Industry, where they said that please educate people and tell them how to list on Amazon, because this is an opportunity that can do wonders for the country and the economy. We are an export-based economy, and we need to get onto this platform. And luckily, Image was very lucky that our trademark was registered, and it was registered in a recognized country by Amazon, because Pakistan is not recognized right now, and that is the challenge that a lot of local businesses and exporters are facing. You need to have a brand. You can't just sell a product on Amazon.
Got it. Thank you.
I hope that answers the Amazon question.
The next question is, what are the total number of customers on the e-commerce platform? How many of them are active users and how many of them reorder with you guys? Do you guys have any percentages in that?
We have on our e-commerce platform on image.net.pk, we have 2 million. We have 2 million active users.
And the percentage of the reorder that you've seen?
We have I would say, 50 to 60% repeat customer on this. And the only reason why we've been able to get that high percentage is through excellent customer service. We give customers refund, no questions asked, if they say that there is something wrong with this product. Otherwise, we do seamless exchanges. We pick up the product from the customer's house, we bring it back, and we give them a new product. They don't even need to spend a cent going to the mall and exchanging their product. Our e-commerce team works day and night to satisfy customers, and we have invested in technology for deliveries. We have a WhatsApp number. If you're not tech savvy and you don't know how to use a website, which is the case in Pakistan, hey, there's no shame in that. I'm bad at using websites. Then we have a WhatsApp number that is available at all times for people. They can just send a voice note in any language saying that there is something wrong with my product, and we will have an exchange for them without any questions asked.
I'm running out of time and the questions keep coming. Do you mind if we go on for another extra 5 minutes? Is that okay with you guys?
The pleasure is all ours.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Because I just keep getting questions and I'm running out of time.
That's fine.
Thank you.
It's our job. We're doing our job.
Thank you. She mentioned 2 million USD a year from Amazon. They're saying, what is the strategy to reach the 2 million? Because Amazon is a highly competitive market and it involves very different techniques.
Extremely competitive market. Only a differentiated product can achieve sales on Amazon. It's also slightly expensive. If you advertising on Amazon is also slightly expensive compared to Facebook and Instagram. But we have a very strong back-end team. Young, talented, dynamic individuals who know who've cracked the algorithm behind the marketing on Amazon. We have to run AdWords. You don't get organic sale on Amazon. That's common knowledge. And our performance marketing is very targeted. It's done by individuals who have very strong tech knowledge and background in this field. And we aggressively market ourselves and run those ads on Amazon, which basically is helping us pick up sales. So for us, we went live on Amazon, I believe, 1st July or 30th, something like that, 1st July of this year, roundabout. Image Tech was established on July 12th. It's been an action-packed July so far. And I feel like for me, the team, every day is better than yesterday. So we are working round the clock to build up those orders through, again, Google Ads, social media, etc.
We have already launched a marketing campaign and advertising campaign.
Quite aggressive one.
Aggressive.
On Amazon. And they run their own ad.
The another question I had was, how has the run rate been so far for you guys on Amazon in July, since you guys launched?
So we haven't closed July yet. I will be in a better position to answer this on August 1st. But yeah, so far it's been good. Every day has been better than yesterday.
That's great. That's great to hear. What are your net margins guidance from Amazon? I'm being asked specifically. Net margin guidance. Any guidance on your net margins? Any guidance on your net margins, like the net margins you guys will be getting?
On Amazon. So Amazon is slightly costly, as I mentioned earlier, because we pay Amazon fee, we pay Amazon commission. Running ads on Amazon are slightly more expensive. The dollar has devalued from 150 to 162, and all the advertisement is done in US dollars. So I think that we will be, for selling on Amazon, I think we'll be looking at the same margin as our other regular e-commerce selling through our own website.
Any plans of expanding and opening overseas outlets?
So at the minute, we are catering to them online and building a clientele for them. By the end of our 5-year mark, we do plan to have one or two, or few rather, I would say, outlets in those areas where we've developed an audience. But our first target is to capture Pakistan. And you know, this is, at the end of the day, it's business we are looking at. You know, we don't believe in rentals in overseas markets, in big malls in Dubai, in Malaysia, the UK, because it's not a fanfare, it's business. And overseas, yeah, sure, maybe in those localities where we have a customer base, where we have an Asian market, potentially, yes, an international footprint, but very gradually, maybe at the end of looking at about maybe 3 to 5 years later.
Thank you.
What was the idea that in very high potential in Pakistan market, we cater the Pakistan market first.
We capture our local market first.
How much embroidery you guys do in-house and how much is outsourced?
So right now we were doing 30% in-house and we were outsourcing 70% because we were 100% utilization and the demands, you know, touch wood, were just growing. And now with the right issue, inshallah, and when we do plan to add our 2 more Shifley high-speed embroidery machines from Europe, in-house will of course increase, and the reliance on outsource and other vendors will go down.
60% will be in-house.
I think 50 then will be 50-50. We'll be doing 50-50 with 2 new machines.
Got it. Thank you. The next question is, how do you guys differentiate yourselves from people like Khadi, and they've named few others?
So this is a question that I get asked every day, and this is also a question that I ask myself every night before going to bed. One is that when you sell fashion, or let's call it just garment or apparel at very low prices, I wouldn't call that fashion. I would call it a commodity item. That's just something that women need to wear every day. It just becomes a commodity item. But we sell a premium product and we sell fashion. So I would call myself a fashion house. I think that in terms of product, in terms of trend, in terms of quality, in terms of durability of the garment, you can wash our garment 100 times and it will still look the same, and we get this feedback quite often that the fabric is of far superior quality. I think that this is what differentiates us from the market. And the other thing is need versus want, something that we studied in economics, necessity versus desire. I would say that a fashion brand, or if you're selling a premium product, is desire, it's want. That's image, but maybe our competitors, or if you classify them as our competitors, that would be need or that would be necessity, hence I call it a commodity item. Also, we are the only fashion retail company that's listed on the PSX as on today.
And our products are sold to niche market.
Yeah,
Niche
the
market,
USP,
yeah.
the design.
There is,
And also, we are backed by an institute that breeds our own talent, and no other company, a fashion company or garment apparel company, has this kind of an arrangement, and so that. Plus, we are the pioneers of Shifli in Pakistan, and I think that is one of our strengths. We have a library of over $1 million that we've gotten from countries in Europe. We bought these designs where embroidery is a craft. Our R&D, I feel, is far superior to other companies. And the fact that we keep up with the dynamic changes fashion. Fashion can be a very tough business to keep up with because it changes trend every few months. And hence, I think that we may, and that's how we have been able to establish a presence for ourselves and a position for ourselves in this overly competitive market in Pakistan. We're competing with giants who have vertical integration, their own yarn, fabric, cloth, all of that. So we've been able to make a mark, and I think that speaks for itself.
okay, just 3 more questions. I know I'm going over time. Sorry. Why do you expect lower net margin despite increase in sales? The projected net profits for the next year is lower than the current run rate of quarterly profit achieved in 3 quarters, Q3. So they want to know, why do you think that the net margin will be lower next year?
So we are looking at opening up new stores in new territories where, yes, we do have a market because of an online presence. But when you open a new store in a new city, it entails a lot of advertisement cost.
It's obvious that when you open a new store or establish a new machinery, new expansion, operating expenses are always on higher side.
That's right.
Depreciation and other expenses are on a higher side. That's why our operating margin in the first 2 years is lower than the next projected years.
Yeah. So the advertisement and other expenses will be higher in the first 3 months of any outlet being opened up, because you are still trying to penetrate in the market amongst the market that is not familiar with your brand. And so we'll be aggressively marketing ourselves with billboards, etc., in those cities particularly.
Another question, I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer it, but I'll rephrase it. The question, the person wants to know, is the company open to giving dividends or bonus shares? What's the management's view on that?
So, if I just date back this question a little, I'd like to tackle it this way. We had a payout in 2017 of 10% bonus shares. We had a payout in 2018 of a 10% cash dividend. 2019 we were in growth phase, and 2020 we were also in aggressive growth phase, as well as the pandemic that hit us. So the company could not declare a dividend. However, yes, we have grown geometrically, and that growth is evident in front of you. And we do want to open more outlets to achieve that threshold in size. We do plan to declare dividends, and I'd also like to add that may be of relevance here, that the shareholders of Image Pakistan Limited, who held shares up until yesterday, are liable to fill out a right and we were advised to give that right at 25 rupees. However, we gave our existing shareholders the right at a 5 rupee premium, and the total price then becomes 15 rupees. So the existing shareholders are already at a 10 rupee advantage for this, to fill out the right.
Perfect. And my last question, people really want you to name companies and competitors, but I will rephrase it. I would ask you is, where do you see Image in the next 10 years? And in terms of market share, where do you think Image will be in the next 10 years?
I would like to say that in the next 5 years, I'm confident, and as my slides also showed, that if God willing and all goes well, we are looking at about a turnover of 8 billion in the next 5 years. We plan to have more product categories, fragrance and halal cosmetics, as well as a stronger retail network. Exponential growth on Amazon. Fashion business is growing in Pakistan. There's a lot of untapped potential. I see ourselves as one of the leading companies, our brands in the world of fashion retail in Pakistan. I think I also see ourselves as one of the top performing financial companies in Pakistan in fashion retail. I think we have very good hope for the future.
Inshallah, that's great. Thank you so much, Uzma. Thank you so much, Sabzwari Saab. This was very, काफी अब मैं जरा सी उर्दू में भी बात कर लूँ क्योंकि जो लोग हमारे ऐसे होते हैं क्लाइंट्स थोड़े जो हमें बोलते हैं अक्सर एंड मेरी माजरत तुमसे क्योंकि हमारे पास इंटरनेशनल इन्वेस्टर्स भी इस कॉल पे थे जिसकी वजह से हमने उसको पूरा इंग्लिश में रखा लेकिन उज़मा एंड सब्जवारी साहब आप दोनों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप लोगों ने इतना टाइम दिया हमें 10 मिनट ओवर टाइम भी हम लोग चले गए but I'm sure this would be very beneficial for all our clients and the people who were on the call today and we look forward to doing more collaboration inshallah with Image as well.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you team KSB.
And I'm sorry guys if I missed any questions please make sure to message it to myself or my colleagues and we would be happy to pass them over to Uzma or Sabzwari Saab. There have also been requests if we can get your presentations if you could please send it to myself or my colleagues and we can send it over to our clients. Owais, would you like to say something?
I just want to, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say that even today we've had a lot of interest because this seems to be a company which understands fast fashion. And fast fashion is something which is becoming a common theme in the West. And it seems as though that actually Image understands fast fashion in Pakistan, also understands how that can work in the West. And actually, when I'm speaking to people here, they're actually thinking that they are a disruptor. So Image is going to be a disruptor for a lot of vendors who are selling product from overseas into countries like the UK and the US, which have a strong South Asian presence. But I just want to say thank you, Uzma, for your time. Very much appreciated. And you've clarified a lot of questions which a lot of people had. So many thanks.
Thank you, thank you, team KSB. Thank you, Memo.
Thank you guys. The office.